356 BC, a great king is about to be born. A small village nestled between hills and valleys in ancient Greece. A thunderstorm echoes across the land. Lightning illuminates the worried face of a queen. About to give birth, she cries out in pain. The child is coming. A small hand emerges, followed by a tiny face. The king's son, Alexander. The queen cradles her newborn baby as the storm rages outside. Soon the sun breaks through the clouds and a small smile appears on the baby's face. In the courtyard, King Philip runs to the palace, hearing the news that his son has just been born. He dismounts, runs up the stairs and enters the room. The king embraces his wife and son, joy and pride radiating from him. The queen rests while servants tend to the king and the newborn. Philip looks lovingly at his wife and son. His mind races with thoughts of his son's future. Will he grow up to be a great leader? Only time will tell. Years pass. Young Alexander sits at the feet of the famous philosopher Aristotle under an ancient tree. He listens intently to his tutor as the latter speaks. Around them, other students take notes. Alexander looks thoughtful. He is no ordinary student. Scene changes. Now a bit older, Alexander struggles to control a wild black horse. The animal bucks and kicks, but the young prince holds on tight. With some effort, he manages to calm the horse down. Satisfied, Alexander strokes the animal's neck. This is Bucephalus, one of the greatest war horses in history. Next, we see Alexander practicing swordplay with a wooden sword. His movements are precise and sure. Even though he's just a kid, he already shows great skill and power. One day, Alexander will use these skills in battle. Scene changes again. King Philip sits on his throne, clad in regal garments, a crown on his head, but his face is grim. He addresses his court, declaring war on the Persians. His son, now a young man, stands proudly beside him. As Philip speaks, we see flashbacks of him as a young warrior, training, fighting battles, and ascending to the throne. He has had a long and glorious reign, but feels his end is near. He knows he won't live to see his son become a great leader. One day, as fate would have it, King Philip is killed in a battle with the Persians. News reaches the queen. She is heartbroken, but knows her son must carry on his father's legacy. Scene changes once more. We find Alexander alone in the throne room. His head is held high, but his shoulders are slumped, showing the weight of his new responsibility. He is now the king. The film ends with a close-up of the young monarch's determined face. His journey has just begun. Throughout the film, we hear the booming voice of the narrator giving historical background information. Also, the entire film is accompanied by epic orchestral music, heightening the drama and action on screen. We hope you enjoyed this cinematic 3D animation of ancient Greece. If you did, please subscribe for more content. Thank you for watching. Now back to the video. Ancient Greece was a time of great philosophers, mighty warriors, and powerful kings. It was also a time of great art and architecture. The people of ancient Greece were known for their love of beauty and their pursuit of knowledge. They believed that the human form was the highest form of art, and they created some of the most beautiful sculptures in history. The Greeks were also great architects. They built some of the most impressive temples and statues in the ancient world. The Parthenon, the Temple of Zeus, and the Statue of Zeus were all built in ancient Greece. But perhaps the greatest achievement of the Greeks was their contribution to philosophy. The Greeks were some of the first people to try to understand the world around them in a rational way. They believed that the universe was governed by laws that could be discovered through reason and logic. Some of the most famous Greek philosophers include Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle. Their ideas have had a profound influence on Western civilization. The ancient Greeks were also great storytellers. They loved to tell stories about gods and heroes and monsters. These stories were passed down from generation to generation and eventually became part of what we call Western culture. Some of the most famous Greek myths include the story of Medusa, the Minotaur, and the Odyssey. Alexander the Great was one of the most famous kings of ancient Greece. He was the son of King Philip II of Macedon, and his mother was Olympias, the daughter of Neoptolemus I of Epirus. Alexander was born in Pella, the capital of the kingdom of Macedon. When Alexander was 2 years old, his father was assassinated by one of his own bodyguards. This made Alexander the heir to the throne. Alexander was tutored by Aristotle for several years, and he learned everything from philosophy to science to literature. At the age of 13, Alexander took control of the kingdom when his father died. He went on to conquer the Persian Empire, defeat the Persians at the Battle of Issus, and march his army all the way to India. He died in Babylon in 323 BC at the age of 32. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe for more content. Thank you for watching.